Hey everyone, welcome. Plenty. For those of you who were patient to wait for us, it is nice to be able to come live. We had some technical issues, but we overcame and we are live.
Amen.
It's nice to welcome the missus as well. Do you want to give a shout out and really congratulate those who have waited all this while just to be part of the show today?
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being so patient with us. It's really was a challenge to try and get us on technical issues upon technical issues. Went to device, then went to another device, then went to another device, and we overcame. and we all overcame together. So thank you so much for joining us. I'm hoping you can hear me. So please do let me know if I'm now nice, loud and clear. And also know if the wonderful Mr. is also loud and clear. As always, we are so glad that you are here with us, joining us on this wonderful topic of I am a good guy, but can't get a good girl. Why? It's a real big question.
It
And
is.
we intend to answer it and throw some light on it also. As always, let us know where you're tuning in from. Let
Yeah.
us know your name, the nation. Let us give your nation a shout out and also give you a shout out. And
Mm.
lastly, if this is your first time on, please let us know so we can also give you a special shout out to welcome you to the conversation.
Great. So that's it. Let us know who is online. You can put us comments in the comment section on Facebook and YouTube, and we obviously will pick them up and be part of the conversation for this evening. It's an interesting topic. I'm a good guy, but I can't get a good girl. Why? And as you can see, we are both in different locations, but we could have used that as an excuse not to have the broadcast today, but we said no, we must have it and find a way to connect. So even though we're in different locations, we are one in heart and we'll still be able to have the conversation. So that's interesting. Please in the comment section tell us who those of you are joining and where you're joining from. And because a lot of time has gone with the technical issues, we're going to jump into the conversation. So the question is, I'm a good guy but can't get a good girl. Why? I think it goes without saying that sometimes you just find good guys and who struggle to actually get a good girl, sometimes get a girl at all. And when we say get a girl, we're talking about, trying to get a relationship that leads to marriage or a marital relationship. And in my own experience as a pastor, I've met quite a number of guys who are good, but are struggling. And many times you have one girl turn them down and another girl turn them down and another girl turn them down. And at the end of the day, some of them, maybe just settle for quote unquote a bad girl, or just they're just there hanging and thinking, what's wrong with me. So we want you to be part of this conversation as we have this conversation today. So I'm going to turn to the missus. What do you think is responsible for this? Good guy can get a good girl. Why?
Okay. Well, so the way you said it, why? Like, but yeah, a good guy can't get a good girl. Why? It's a very good question, and it's a very important question as well. Maybe he's looking for the wrong kind of girl. Maybe the things that are attracting him are the wrong kind of things, and maybe he should actually try and tweak those things so that he'll be able to get a good girl. Surely if you keep on getting the wrong type of girl and it's a time upon time upon time, then it may be that the people that you're attracted to are the problem, so maybe your attraction may be in question. That could be one. It could not even be one, but it could be
Yeah.
for some people. For others it may be just that, maybe they're so good that they can't spot a girl that is fake. Yeah,
Mm.
there's a lot of fake ladies out there, sorry to say,
Yeah.
that are, just packaging themselves in a way that they know a guy would like. So they're not
Yeah.
true to themselves. So in doing that, the guy has fallen left, right, and sinker for this package. And he's bought it. He's bought the goods. She packaged herself well, and he bought the goods. And then he didn't now realize that it was a package that he bought and not a person, not a genuine person. So I mean, there are many issues, but I mean, what do you think? What's your take on this?
Well, I think the things that you've said, I will agree. And speaking of package, you talked about maybe, the guy ends up with a bad girl because the girl kind of knows what guys want and she packages herself. Could it also be that this good guy is being turned down by good girls because he has not packaged himself well?
Oh,
Because I'm a good guy,
yeah,
but I can't get a good girl.
yeah.
And could it be that the fact that you're good, you've not packaged yourself well, you know could that be a reason for girls not, because I mean, you have certain cases where you have a guy and that this guy is a good guy, and I'm sure that there are people who are watching us online who will agree with that, and you can understand why certain girls that you also believe and know that are good girls, you can understand why they turn in this guy down,
Yeah.
and you're thinking, and they come up with excuses like, I don't feel him, I don't see him that way, I know he's a good guy, I, I like him, but I don't see
Just
us together.
friend zoned.
Yes, and just friend zone. So I'm asking, could it be that maybe the guy is not packaging himself well? Because I'm not a lady, but you are a lady, and I'm sure there are many ladies online who could probably also jump in, because I believe that this program will help somebody. Is it the package? Could it be that, yeah, he's good, he's got his head in the right place, he has a focus, he knows God, he loves God, but he's not just doing it for the lady because he's not packaged himself well? Could that be a reason?
I definitely think so. I definitely think so because at the end of the day, it's an attraction that is needed from both sides.
Yeah.
So for a man to say, yeah, that girl, I want to approach her, and for a lady to say, yeah, that guy, I'm interested to hear what he's saying.
Mhm.
It's a as much as it's a superficial thing,
Yeah.
that very entry level of seeing the person and being attracted to them is a must. No
Okay.
matter how you say, oh, you should look within, look deeper inside. Yes, we understand that if you're talking of staying with the person. But
Mhm.
even entertaining them in the first place, you have to see whether am I attracted to them. So
Yeah.
maybe, like you said, he's not packaging himself in the right way. Now, when you talk of packaging, we're not talking of, all right, you need to go to the gym now, you need to get your packs up, you need to get your
No,
muscles.
no.
No, it's not that at all. It's how your I don't know, like how you compose yourself, how you compose yourself.
Mm.
How do you, I don't know how to put it. You just got something that is attractive. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're oozing with confidence, or you can speak without stuttering. Someone ask you, you're asking early, oh, so what's your name, what's your, be like, who's this guy? Not to those that have like speech concerns and so, but if it's just like on a normal kind of thing and you're not really coming across as somebody that they can spend hours on the phone with, within 2 minutes the conversation has gone flat.
Mm.
For them, they'll be thinking, what do I have to even talk to this guy about? He's literally, after you say How are you? I'm fine. How was your day? It was good. Silence. The person is not going to want to speak to that person more and more. So it's having something in you that makes people interested in you, and not speaking to people that it annoys them. There's a way also, some guys, they speak to someone and it's annoying, like you just can't wait for the person to stop talking so you can leave. So packaging packaging themselves to not be annoying as well.
Okay, so basically we're saying that, yeah, good guy. I think there are quite a lot of things that have just been thrown down,
Yeah.
which obviously I want our audience, those of you who are online. And by the way, I hope you've shared the broadcast. Click on the share button and share on Facebook to others. There are some who probably waited for the minutes that you waited and, tripped off, that you can get back just by sharing and get
Yeah.
somebody in, because I believe that this will help. So, just at the top of my head, some of the things I can remember that we've just put down is, Father, maybe, this guy is speaking to the wrong set of people. Two, maybe, he's ending up with bad girls because the girls know what a guy wants, and the bad girl is packaged herself to present herself in a certain way. But then, speaking of packaging, we're saying if you're a good guy, you want to get a good girl, you have to also package yourself right. And when we speak of packaging, is not going to the gym. I mean, there's nothing wrong with going to the gym. We're not saying you have to have a six pack. You could have six pack, and that's great. But one, look good in yourself. So take care of yourself, personal hygiene for that matter. In other words, brush your teeth and brush it well, and put on deodorant so that you're not um assuming bad
Offensive.
smell, even though you're good, you're spiritual, God,
Yeah.
you know and your focus, you're a focus achiever. But I mean, buy nice perfume and perfume yourself, check your breath, make sure that it's not smelling. But having said all that, I think another thing is, maybe if you speak to church people, even you're a good guy, you're spiritual, and you want to be with a girl. I mean, don't go there to be her. You're not trying to be her pastor, neither are you trying to be her a spiritual father, neither you do. You understand? Yeah, no, because you could go and you feel, oh, is a good girl, and your hello is tongue speaking. You don't have time for movie. All your conversations is the message preach. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but they
Balance.
yeah, there has to be a balance.
Mm.
Your is message preach, or what spiritual book are you reading now? So after some time, the lady is going to start thinking that your entire house is going to be a revival ground
Yeah.
and a crusade 247, and she's probably asking herself, she's good, she loves God, because you may then think, oh, but she should love that. I mean, she's a Christian, or she's good, she loves God,
Mm.
but she doesn't want her home to then be a crusade. She
Mm.
wants to be able to laugh. Would there be moments to laugh? Or would we just be speaking in tongues the whole day? We wake up, our good morning is tongue. Is there milk in the fridge? Is tongue. Is there how are children going to get to school? Is tongue speaking. You are a good guy. You are spiritual, but you should understand the balance. You should make, you know, you should be able to make the lady laugh. These are some of the things I'm thinking, because when you are a good guy, yeah, you're a good guy, you can't just uh, uh present. Let's say you're spiritual, just present your spiritual side. You should have a balance where the girl knows that she's with you, she can laugh, you can both watch movies, you can that you there will be times where you can watch movie. Of course, there'll be time where you pray together, there'll be times when you study the word together, and there'll be times when you go for a meal together, and there's just such a balance that you are not just uptight the whole time, like a Spiro whose facial expression every time is just so serious, as though the seriousness, stiffness of your face is what communicates your spirituality. I think all of those things will create problem. And you may end up saying, no, but I'm praying, I'm fasting, and all of that. And you may even start binding demons and casting out devils that they are hindering you from getting married. But it's just the fact that you are a good guy, but you don't know the balance to be able to win the heart of a woman. Because what you're not trying to marry an angel or a spirit, you're trying to marry a human being. And so there has to be some humanity to you.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. No, I totally agree with you. It has to be a balance. It has to be that you realize the person you're going to live with them forever if it's a thing of you're not going to marry them. So are they going to enjoy being with you forever, potentially? You know,
Yeah.
so are the things that you're doing a put on or a put off? I think that a lot of the things, like you said, personal hygiene, breath. I mean, come on. Breath mints these days are so cheap and so conveniently fitting in your pocket that you don't need to have that as an excuse. You can literally pop it in your mouth, sucking it, chew it, bite it, eat it, whatever, and speak to somebody. That should not be an issue. I mean, even is it Tic Tacs? Tic Tacs? Because of this TikTok, it's now confused me. Does anyone remember what's those small mints? Is it Tic Tacs?
I think it's TikTok. I think so.
Oh, yeah, I think because TikTok is now, but yeah. So there's so many different things that you can use. I mean, I've literally given TikTok or whatever the company is called free airplay, but I need sponsorship. But yeah. So you can get over those kind of things. Personal hygiene shouldn't be it. But in case it is, then these are the kind of things that you should be looking out for. Do people step back when I'm talking? Do people walk away a little bit? After some time, am I able to hold a conversation that makes sense? Sometimes again, some guys get nervous around girls. Some girls that they want to talk to or they just get nervous. So you can't tic-tac. Thank you, Bro Friday. God bless you. So they can't, now start getting flustered and all the rest of it. They can't hold the conversation well. So maybe practice. They say practice makes perfect. Practice with some friends. Practice if you don't want to practice with some friends because you think, oh, they're gonna make fun of you later, or even while you're practicing with them. Practice with yourself. You got a camera phone, video yourself. There's so many different things that you can do to be able to build that confidence so that you'll be able to speak with somebody.
All right. So I think, because it's painful. I don't know how people feel, but for me, it's painful when I see good guys not being able to get good girls, and not because some of them, not because they don't have eyes for good girls, but they approach these girls and the girls just, turn them down. And these good girls end up with bad guys. And, it's to me, honestly, worries me, pains me. It pains me. When I say pain, it actually pains me. And, you see the good girls end up with bad guys, and then these good guys end up with bad girls, which is just I don't think is right, because he's tried to live his life, to be good, and he should end up like when I was growing up. I'll tell you what, when I was growing up, I used to say this, that a goat should marry a goat, a dog should marry a dog. That was my mindset, that why would a goat go and marry a cat? Okay. Do you understand? But I mean, we're seeing that happening today. And sometimes, because we've been having this conversation in the past 2 episodes, why do good girls like bad boys? Yeah. And so I felt it's good for us to speak to the good boys. What is it that you need to change so that you can actually attract a good girl? And like you said, personal hygiene, your ability to hold conversation, because ladies like talk. I think, I don't know, but correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if a guy can make a lady laugh, and I mean genuinely laugh, that she just laughs,
Yeah.
yeah, it's that kind of an open door to the lady's heart. Am I right? For the ladies who are in the house, if a guy can make you laugh, and I mean just make you laugh, I don't mean him making fool of himself, although yes, sometimes he has to act a bit like a clown, but it's not, you can still see the
Yeah.
dignity in him,
Yeah.
even though there's this clownish
Yeah.
uh, um
Behavior.
behavior sometimes, and just laugh that just, I don't know, but I just think that that can open a door to, at least open the door. I don't mean, it gets you in the room, but it can open the door to a lady's heart. And so you need to, I think people need to practice, some interpersonal skills.
I think that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some interpersonal skills. So even yourself as a good guy, you are qualified as a good guy because yes, you have focus, Jesus, you're not a playboy, you're serious, maybe you're doing well with your job and all of that, great. But all of that, as essential as it is, and as much as we prize those, I
Yeah.
think that a lady wants more.
Mm.
And that if you don't have interpersonal skills, then you would find out that as great as those things are, you will
Yeah.
still not be able to get the lady that you want. And I think that that's really the challenging part.
Yeah, I think that interpersonal skills, like you said, is very, very crucial. Laughing is very, very crucial because, listen, us ladies, we like to talk. We can talk about everything and not just to like talking, details. We like
Yeah.
details. If I was to say to my husband, oh, and he went to an event which I wasn't able to go to, I'll ask him, oh, so how was it? What would be his response?
Hmm.
It was fine. That's not what I want. I want, I came in around 12 noon, who was there, what they were wearing, where they were sitting, how they were smiling, how everything looked, what was the smell, what was the taste of the food, but men are not wired that way. They are, specific and straight to the point. Women, we like the details, all the fluff. Yeah, that's how we're
Hmm.
wired. So if you now know that, and you know that a man is also not going to make you laugh, he does not even have the capacity or the ability to make you laugh, on top of just straight to the point, that means we'll be in newsroom every day. Everything will be straight to the point, no laughing, nothing, no opportunity to laugh. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
So men, in case there is no, ability of making people laugh, practice, I beg, practice. It's not hard. Just practice more so that we'll be able to get that your wife to be, or, potential somebody in your life to be able to laugh, because it's so important. So important. The atmosphere that somebody creates in a home is so important. And believe it or not, even with that simple hello and with that simple first week or so of communicating, people are gauging and they're thinking far ahead. you
Yeah.
know how am I going to be able to live with this person for the rest of my life? Potentially, am I
Yeah.
actually able to do this? If not, then I think I have to start winding down this communication, because all it does is make me upset, or all she does is make me upset, or what have you, and it's not going to work. But like I said at the beginning, some people are fake. So that's another big problem, because when we're talking about I'm a good guy, how come I end up with these bad girls? Why? There are some people that are genuinely good guys, like we said. They do meet somebody that appeared genuine in the onset, but then all of a sudden, after they've now met them, wooed them, married them, then they now turn.
Mm.
That's a big problem. Both whether it's somebody that you've known for a long time or somebody that saw you, like a woman that saw a man as a meal ticket, a ticket to leave their country, a ticket for a better life. I was living in poverty. Now this man has come to rescue me, but I still got some things that I'm hooked up with. There's still a man in my life. There's still all these other things that I want to pursue personally, and I'm just going to use him as a ticket to change my location. Once I've changed my location, I'm going to drop this ticket and move on with my life. Because there's a lot of women that are doing that as well, which is an absolute disgrace and is very, very bad.
All right, I think let's see some of the comments that we've got. I think we've got a lot of them actually. So we're going to try to. Should I skip the pleasantries at the beginning and go?
I think so, but thank you so much for those that did give.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Yeah. Okay. So we've got Nicole. Do you want to read that, or should I read it?
Yeah, she says you would be surprised that many do not even care for personal hygiene. So she's agreeing with you when you were talking about personal hygiene. People are saying hello, from close up. Breath is, traveling, and they want to be saying goodbye. So yeah,
the lady's saying goodbye. So really, yeah, you're a good guy, but because I think one of the things that can help is just realizing that we are not finished products. We are not complete. So you must always seek self-improvement and ask yourself, okay, I'm a good guy and I'm this and that. What do I need to adjust in myself? And your willingness to adjust that to be able to attract the right person and right people. I think that's very important. Rather than just settling for the father. Everybody says to you, you're a good guy, you're good. And you say, oh, yeah, I'm a good guy and I don't know why I can't find a good girl. I mean, you want a good girl, there's something that she also wants that you can, don't change your goodness to badness, but improve on yourself on those areas where that may just be the shortfall that you're experiencing.
I mean, what you're reminding me now of is, let's say somebody that's going for a job interview or something, not to say that a relationship is a job interview, but there's a way that once you've been knocked down a number of times, you now go on that self-improvement to now, sharpen some skills or practice some more or do something that improves your stand. So maybe, like you said, it's a thing of, doing something more, improving more in an area or removing a certain area or tweaking something so that you can then become more packaged or more ready or more approachable to start a relationship with someone.
Yeah, no, because I think that when people are committed to personal development, even for a speaker, let's say like myself, I'm a preacher, if I'm not committed to personal development in the delivery of my messages, and I am today what I was 10 years ago, then you'd find out that,
left behind.
You're left behind. Nobody wants to engage. Nobody wants to, you're good. But so I think that it is that thing where you have to kind of step up. Maybe there are some certain vocabularies that you use that you have to take out of your words. It may be funny to you, but it's not funny to the girls. Drop it. No, it's true. It may be funny to you, but it's not funny to the girls. Then you drop it and shift and know when to go into things and come out of things. Initially, you may have to operate with some consciousness. Over time, as human beings, it will become part and parcel of you that you don't have to be conscious about it. It will just flow.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the things, because for us as human beings, we can adapt. We can adapt, and it's one of the things to do. All right, the next comment. Do you want to read this?
Yeah. So Glory, she says, I think that a guy should know how to engage with a person he wants to be with. Yeah. Know what interests that person outside spiritual. So know what they're interested in outside spiritual matters. Yes,
Yeah.
packaging well involves many things. So just, finding a way to win the person or be of interest to the person. Just
Yeah.
find a
And
way.
just to say also, assuming there's such a guy that's watching online, I think it's also it's also important to note that I think girls are different, and some girls, you can't just even though you've known them within a setting, for example, for a long time, you can't just from the beginning of getting close to them, yeah, just put down the relationship card.
Yeah.
It would be a
Yeah.
put off
I
for them.
mean, take it
You
easy.
understand? So you may
Yeah.
have not, let's say you are in a church, you may have known them in a church for a while, you're
Mhm.
in the same church or in the same school, and both of you know each other, hello, hello, hello. But from the moment of getting close to them, you just put the relationship card down, it will be a put off. There are some girls, they are slow to accepting a guy. So I think it's almost like you have to be, as a guy, clued up as a psychologist in some sense to
Mm.
know, is this a girl that I need to kind of, just get close to, be myself, let her get to know me without really putting down any relationship card, almost to the point where the girl is like she's giving you a flashlight to speak to her. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. The girl may
Yeah.
not speak, but she'll be giving you the vibe like she wants you. And
Yeah.
that can give you then the confidence to speak to her. As opposed to if you come in the beginning and you just drop the card of, I want to be with you and blah, 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 blah. It'd be like, it's too
You know
much.
what? You know what? What you're saying is so true because I know a few people where the guy, as soon as he saw the girl, was
Yeah.
like, I'm going to marry you one day. I'm going to
Mm.
marry you. And the Lord has spoken, not even just that I'm going to marry you. Some, the Lord has spoken to me that you're my wife. Whoa,
Yeah.
I've literally just met you. So for those women, and on those women, they did not marry that person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or that man now married somebody else, for the ones that I'm thinking of. So but for them, it was a total put off, a total like confusion. Like, who is this person? Am I
Mm.
even meant to have him as a friend? Am I meant to have him as somebody that is a potential to marry? Like, who is he? I don't even
Yeah.
understand. So the question marks for them was just too many that they just left the person alone. So
Mm.
you don't want to be on that category of I'm confused who you are and
Mm.
let's leave him alone, and move on with your life. Because for some ladies, that is a real issue as well. When you're
Yeah.
not coming across, or when you are coming across too heavy too soon. So for
Yeah.
them,
Mm.
it's just like, I don't understand you. I don't know who you are. I can't even be myself because I don't know. It's like you're now going to be looking at me differently. I can't be myself around you and all of that. But another thing where what you said is when a lady's giving a man a green light, are some men giving up too soon? Are some men thinking, oh, this lady, she's hard work, or I'm not, she's told me no, I'm gonna give up. I'm not even going to entertain this anymore. I've got my pride to look after here, my ego.
Mm.
Let me just move on. She said no, I'm moving on. But for some women, for some women, they want, a little bit of a chase.
Okay. No, 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 no. I mean, it's not bad. I mean,
A
it's
little bit, like, what was I that worth it for you, or we just want a little bit of a chase. So for some men, maybe they're giving up too soon.
yeah. Well, it's possible, but I'm just looking at it that if the lady is already at the point where she knows that, yeah, I want this guy, then she shouldn't be holding him up
Yeah.
just for a chase.
Okay.
Uh, if you've already arrived there, but if she hasn't arrived there, like you said, the guy is coming in too heavy too soon, then
Yeah.
that in itself can be a problem. And I agree with you that sometimes a guy could be giving up too soon as well. as it has to do with the lady. But from the lady's perspective, I think if she's already at a point where she knows that, yeah, I want this guy, then, she shouldn't be holding him up just because she wants a chase. So it's a thing where I think a good guy, because we're dealing with good guy should, yes, be patient, understand timing. Sometimes, though, I have to say this, sometimes some people spoil it for others. So let's say you have a guy, he's a good guy, he's got an eye for this good girl. He's not trying to go in heavy. He just wants to get to know her, get close and all of that. And he's just mapping his way in. And then you have one auntie somewhere, one Christian mother somewhere, one Christian father, one uncle somewhere who just go and say, oh, I think this guy is interested in you. You should count yourself lucky. Or go and speak to their mother that... there's a guy that I think is interested in your daughter. He has not spoken yet. Yeah, has not spoken yet does not mean you should go and speak for him. Give him time, because you going to now inform the mother of the girl or the father of the girl. They would mention to the girl. The girl will feel that he's not bold enough to come and speak to them. He's going through this prosy and he didn't send you. That is busybody. So some aunties, some uncles, some Christian mother, Christian father, sister also spoil potential relationships that would happen because they are too excited in themselves not to allow the process to happen. And as such, create a blockade that before the guy even now comes to the point where the guy is coming to speak to the girl already knows, because she's heard from all of these processes and she's already drawn a block. So the day the guy will then come, she'll be like, she's just waiting for him to land.
Yeah.
So I think
every conversation, she's just thinking in herself, so is it now you're going to tell me? So is it now you're going to tell me? Are you going to tell me now? So she's not even paying attention to him. She's just wondering, when is he going to talk to me?
Yeah.
So it's premature kind of thing. So on one of the Facebook channels, we've got Ijoma Peace Nwafo. She says, when we were talking about sometimes the man is looking for the wrong things or difficult things. So she says, because you are looking for big front and back. So sometimes that packaging, the heavy load is what he's looking for, So once he finds the heavy load, he's happy. But that heavy load may actually be a crushing load.
It may be a crushing load, yeah.
Yeah. So that may be an issue as well.
Okay, let's read some more comments. We've got Yvonne. Do you want to read this one?
So Yvonne said, that's very correct, sir. Laughing, holding hands and dancing and playing together means a lot to a woman. And it sure does. So having the ability, knowing that guy has the ability to be able to do that, if you don't have that, if you don't appear to look like you have that ability, some ladies may, look elsewhere because of that. Yeah.
And then we've got Daddy Fidel said, some people like crossbreeding. Some of these good girls prefer bad guys. That's a dangerous crossbreeding.
Yeah.
It's a terrible one. Don't like that.
Goat should be with goats, cow should be with cow, and all that. People like to mix things up and live on the danger side of life.
Living on the edge.
Yeah. All right, so Nicole says, it's very sad that sometimes goats marry cats, but God has given the goat and cats the wisdom through his word to direct them to make the correct decisions. But some cats decide to go against that guidance. Yeah. That's really it. That's really it.
And honestly, if you are a good guy, never for any reason go for a bad girl that this is a bad girl. Don't, because you live to regret it. because she's coming after you because she knows what it means to be a bad guy. No, it's true.
Yeah.
And she knows that she doesn't want that, but she's coming for you. And then you is a good girl. The bad guy is coming for you because he can't stand a bad girl. And you are just sheepishly putting your head there. You become the victim of the relationship. Let the bad one go and settle with the bad one. And you, the good, settle with the good.
Yeah, but I mean, let's go beyond the superficial kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The attraction, the looks, and all of that. Shouldn't, if we're now talking about settling down, shouldn't the guy be able to scope what is this woman all about? What is her personality all about? What are her values? What are her moral standing on different things? Through conversation, you can find that out. Through sending a video, of something that's a little bit controversial, and you say, "Oh, what?" You laugh. What do you think about this? You send a video. You get her response. See what her stand on these things are. From that way, you now know, is this somebody you can deal with, or somebody that you just need to, be happy that you were able to have a conversation with and then move on. So it's all these kind of things. I think if we're talking about good guys can't get good girls, what the girls that they are getting, if they are bad, then why are they sticking with them? Surely they should have been able to scope them out before it got too deep.
And move on. Yeah. And those things should not be done on sentiment. You should be practical, because life is not necessarily just sentimental. If you settle based on sentiment, that sentiment may not be able to carry you and hold you, all through the relationship. We've got Fene who have said, personally, I feel some guys are too good in their own eyes to see a lady that is good enough for them, forgetting that we are all different people, and they end up with one pretender who is a bad girl. And then he's added that being good or bad is a matter of time. Some people come good and end up being bad to you. I think he's raised some very serious points there, which is basically some people are too good in their own eyes that they can't see anybody good enough for them. Isn't that true?
Yeah.
They always picking flaws with everybody. And when you become too picky, you could end up with a bad person. You could end up with a bad,
I've got another question here from Samuel Perekeme. He says, how do you know a bad girl or guy? How do you know? Especially in the state of pretentious people, how do you just know a good girl and or a good guy?
I think there are a number of things that you can look at that can also be helpful for you. One, if you're a Christian, are they Christians? Two, what is their life practice? Because it's one thing to answer the name Christian. Two, what is their life practice of the Word of God? How serious do they take the Word of God? So in other words, you can judge by their willingness to obey the Word of God. The Word of God says this, I'm going to do it. The Word of God says this, that's what I'm going to do. Or do they argue with the Word of God and disobey the Word of God? If they disobey the Word of God, there is a question mark.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So you have to use those parameters. You cannot judge the good by parameters that you set. You judge it. You can't judge it by the parameters that you set. You have to judge it based on standing parameters that were there before you were born, will be there after you are gone, that were set by the Creator himself.
The one that established heaven and earth, that knows what is good for somebody and knows also what is bad.
So those parameters are very important. Then you can also judge from, what's their temperament like? What's their temperament? How do they react when you go with them to a restaurant and a waiter is taking long to bring something? How do they react? Do they just shout at the waiter? And because they shout at the waiter comes and says, "So sorry, sir, sorry, sir." You foolishly, as a girl, feel, "Oh, he's a strong man." The way the waiter is respected. That shout will be your own shout tomorrow when you are both now married and
right.
he comes home, he wants to eat, and maybe you put the food and you forgot to put a cup of water. That shout will be issued at you. So you are celebrating him shouting at a waiter in a restaurant today. That shout will be your shout. So there are a number of things that you begin to see. What is his relationship with his family or her relationship with her family? What respect does he have? Respect for the father, the mother. If it's a girl, you are meeting her and all of that. Who is she taking you to introduce you to? Is it just her female friends? Is she taking you to anybody who is an authority over her life, that she's telling you that I respect the word of this person, I need the approval of this person. If this person says no, if she's not saying that, then
It's
you
not
know that she will not regard you as an authority tomorrow. So there are basic standards that, so tomorrow, she's just afraid, there's no, but she's not taking you to a pastor that she respects, that whose words, respect, or her parents. And that maybe when they come there and they say, "Look, this is what I would like you people to do." And she said, "Oh, don't just forget about him. That's the way my father talks," and all of that. That girl, tomorrow, when you are married to her, that is the way she will also be telling your children to just forget about you, because that's the way you talk. So there are parameters like that. There are things that we overlook during the era of courtship that are actually a sign of who this person is. So you can use that to judge who is a good girl, who is a bad boy, who is a good boy, and who is a bad girl. There are many. I can go on and on. And
go on. No, do go on, because I think that practical, pragmatic approach and understanding is what is even more crucial, because people are not seeing the things that they should be seeing on a day-to-day. You're having conversations with somebody, like you said, on the waiter instance, you're having conversations, you're thinking, oh, he's just, asserting his authority and everything. Like you said, that's how he's going to be asserting the authority over you. Exactly. Where he's saying, look, I expect that when I come home, I should have my meal on the table, fully set, fully ready. Why are you taking so long? Because he doesn't have patience. He doesn't have understanding. He doesn't, there's so many things that are missing. So it's those kind of things that would help somebody to now know, okay, this is the kind of person that I should be looking for, or these are the kind of people I should be avoiding. Somebody that's always on their phone, on their phone.
And as he's on their phone, you don't know. You say, "Oh, he's doing business, he's doing deals. You don't have any form of knowledge of the kind of deals he's doing. It's a problem. It is a problem. So I think if people are really honest with themselves and they're really objective, you can spot a good guy. And you can spot also a good girl. I know people can pretend, but some of these things will just highlight it to you straight away. You can't hope to have a submissive wife who has never submitted to anybody. And when you met her, she's not submitting to anyone. She's not submitting to her parents. She's not submitting to a pastor. She's not submitting to a leader. She's always complaining about her manager, her bosses in the place of work.
Excuses.
Everybody else is always wrong, maltreating her and all of that. There's nobody that she honors and all of, and you expect her to marry and then she will honor you and submit to you. That's not going to happen. She does not know what it means to submit to anybody. Even a man, because you also need the man to be able to submit. The Bible says submitting yourself one to another. You have a man who is not submitting to anybody. He's the Alpha and Omega. And then you think that tomorrow when you marry him, he's going to be responsive and submissive to you.
or
and
take your opinions.
or
No.
take opinion from you or from someone else. It's not going to happen. So these are spotting a bad guy, spotting a good guy. It's very possible. It's possible. It's doable, and it's I mean, like I said, don't be the one setting the standard. The word of God, is standard, and there are standards that have existed before you were born. If you ignore them, you could fall into the hands of the wrong person.
That's
Yeah,
true.
I mean, we're going a bit beyond our time because of the technical issues. Let me just read some comments from this other Facebook page where we're streaming. This is Elizabella is online connecting from Lebanon. Thank you. Okay, you read the one about big front and back. Okay. Somebody said some men are looking for a good package. That's why some ladies are looking fake. Okay. Is it possible to get good girl or a bad boy on social media? That's the
Well,
question.
I mean, social media is where things are right about now, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah.
right now we're on social media. We're not bad, are we? But it's a thing of, I don't know, having a discernment of spirit, understanding that, there, as much as somebody can be on social media, there's a level of you have to give some wiggle room for, in case of it's not exactly as you expected or thought. So
Yeah.
you can't just take it 100%
In
that
the
this,
face value, yeah.
yeah, on face value. You've got to give room for actually knowing them in a true form. Some people are crazy on social media. I was watching a small clip or something of, I don't know, maybe it was an advert or something of a guy that looked very well to do, nicely packaged, very calm and in looking, dressed very well. He goes on all these dating websites, and it appears that he's a serial killer.
Oh
Black
my.
guy, black guy in America, black women. He killed, I don't even know how many women, but he was like on a killing spree, going on from one dating app to the other, meeting up with these ladies and then killing them. And he looked very good. So
Wow.
there's a level of question mark and
Yeah.
gap that you have to give those things and not take it fully as it's seen, and you have that discernment of spirit, and really be prayerful, because there's everything on the internet, every
Yeah. There's
single,
the good, the bad, the ugly. Is all
the
there.
ugly, the evil, the demon possessed, the everything is there. So you have to be so mindful, of that. But sometimes you don't have to go so far. You don't have to go so far. There's good people in
Around you.
front of you,
Yeah.
around you, in your church, in your
And you
work.
may, yeah, and you may just be, and because they are so around you,
Yeah.
you may not be seeing them.
That's
Yeah,
another.
because sometimes what is around you, you don't see because you think what you need is outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, but really, they may just be around you.
Yeah.
Okay, our time is running. Let's just read the other comments. Daddy Feeder said, good manipulators. So you have some people who are good manipulators. We've got this. Peter
Yeah. It
Smith said,
says
for
for me.
me,
Okay.
yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. For me, if you are too good in your eyes, you will never see any good girl unless a pretender who ends being a bad girl. I think we read this before. But we
Okay.
agree with you. Who doesn't like to be chased? From fearful to fierce. I love that. So true, Mr. Omoviye. A controversial issue is a great way of knowing where someone stands on certain values. So yeah.
It's
Well,
true. It's true. Yeah. So sometimes just put down a
yeah.
topic for conversation and a
Mhm.
controversial topic, and you would hear where the person stands.
Exactly.
What they're passionate about, what they what their opinions. That will tell you what's going on in their
Indeed.
mind and the kind of person that they are.
Okay. Yeah.
I think
This
because
is what
Glory
you're.
is red flags.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to read that?
Yeah, yes, absolutely, sir. The truth will always be revealed. So yeah, the truth will always be revealed. And then Nicole says, I'm very scared of the social media aspect of dating for too many reasons. Too many bad incidents have happened that have crime news coverage. Yeah. I mean, news will always be the bad news. You know, we have heard of the ones that are good. We do know people that have married because of meeting each other online. But obviously the bad news is always the one that you would hear because that's what makes news. But
And
yeah,
let's take this as the final comment.
yeah, I think a person's everyday actions are clear indicators of the kind of person they are. The real you are in your mundane actions. Very true. The things you do without even thinking. And those follow you everywhere like a bad breath. Yes. So so what you do without even thinking subconsciously is who you are. So look out for
Yeah.
those things. Look out for those things.
Great. So, well, our time is fast spent. Thank God we made up a bit of time as
Yeah.
well, added a bit of time to make up for the delayed start. I'll let the missus give some final words, and hope that the good guys will not just find, but will win the hearts of the good girls.
Yes. Don't you know what? There is a good girl out there for you. Because sometimes a man just needs that encouragement. He just needs to hear that the good girl is out there. And she definitely is. Maybe there is one or two areas that you could do with improving. It was good before, but it's not working right now. So you just need to improve on those one or two areas. Once you improve on one of those one or two areas, try it again. Also be prayerful. Don't just be talking to everyone that you think looks nice and all of that. Looks can be deceiving. Some people, they wear so much makeup that you don't even, if you saw the real them, you may not even approach them. So looks can be deceiving. So be prayerful. Know that there is something valuable in you that you have to offer a woman. So so you'll be able to give your best and just try your best and improve yourself, and you will get there.
Thank you. Before I give my final comment, just want to read this from Blanche. She said, even in their pretense, there is always red flags. It's when we ignore those red flags, we get in trouble. And I
Yeah.
think that is so true. I just want to say, it'd be nice to see more good girls, accepting relationship with good guys. Don't keep them hanging. But also, I'd like to say to the good guys that you're already good. There are things that the bad guys lack that you've got. You've got discipline, you've got focus, you've got God, and that in itself is a plus. Maybe what you don't have, which you need to work on, is that maybe you're fronting just your good part and you think that's going to get you through the line. It may not. So you need to improve on certain things. We talked about a number of things: your interpersonal skills, your ability to make the lady laugh, to entertain, your personal hygiene, and just scoping things as well, your psychology as well, to be able to read and understand the mood with a lady, to know when to come in, because you almost have to become like a psychologist to
Like guy
read. And
sense.
you say what?
It's like having guy sense. Like just
Exactly, having guy sense.
yeah.
So, sometimes because you've not been on the street, you're not street smart, and all you've known is, contained within a certain framework of things. But you need to learn a bit of that. You don't have to go to the street to learn it. I didn't go to the street to learn it,
Yeah.
you know. But I won the heart of a good woman, and there were many other good women who were after me. So you don't have, but you just have to have a side to you. And my wife, who is there, I'm spiritual. The Lord uses me. I pray. I preach and all of that, but
Yeah.
she will tell you
Yeah.
that, you know, the Pastor Moses, you know, on the pulpit is different from Pastor Moses. As my children enjoy my presence, my wife enjoys my presence, and all of that. And you have to be almost like a complete package. So there are things, and I'm growing as well. There are things that I shift, I change, and all of that, depending on what, you know, will make my home enjoyable for my wife and enjoyable for my children. So I think it's almost that kind of sense you need to have to be able to get a good girl. And you can do it. I mean, you've done the hard part. The hard part you've already, no, it's true. The part that you've got right that qualifies you as a good guy, you've done the hard part, because ladies will tell you, generally, you hear ladies say, to find a good, there are not so many good guys, that good men are scarce. So the fact that you have done the hard part, it's just that extra bit. It's like the icing on the cake that just tip it over for you. And guess what? You can do it. Like I said, be a spiritual guy, love God and all of that. But when it's time to, you know, engage with the lady, don't let your conversations just be tongue speaking. Mando kopa shadaba. Of course, you see myself and my wife pray on Zion Prevail. You know, that's not all that we do. That's just the tip of the iceberg of all that we do. We pray together, but we do a lot of things together. We watch movie, we dance, we just do things. We make each other laugh. We entertain each other. And it's not today's the day to make each other laugh. No, it's spontaneous.
Schedule.
There's no script to it. Do you understand? So I think it's just trying to get the other's eyes in part. And once you do it, you'll be good, guys.
That's
and
it.
You will get a good girl.
You got it. Yeah.
All right. Well, do you want to tell them about tomorrow? Is it PPP prayers tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow is the, well, would I say, well, how would I put it? Tomorrow is going to be amazing. The two of us are going to be together to pray on enough is enough. There's some issues that you know you're going through that it is time for it to stop. So we are going to pray and demand from the heavens that enough is enough in that matter. So we cannot be doing it alone. We need you and your matter to join so that enough will be enough on your matter also. So join us 6 a.m. GMT. So that's 6 a.m. UK time. That's 7 a.m. Nigerian time. That is 1 a.m. American Eastern time. And figure it out wherever else you are, Lebanon, figure it out so that you'll be able to pray and demand that enough is enough. I see many things shifting in the lives of people, and I don't want it just to be out. Those of us that are here, let it be others as well. So share it. Let other people be a part of what is going to happen tomorrow. 6 a.m. UK, 7 a.m. Nigeria, 1 a.m. Eastern, and then figure it out tomorrow morning.
All right, thank you. I was just
On the
thinking,
same
when does the
platform
time?
that you're on now.
Yeah, the same platform. When does the time change? Is it this
Changes
Sunday?
on Sunday. This Sunday, last Sunday,
Oh,
March.
this Sunday. The time change. So from next week Monday,
No, so next week Monday it will be different. It will change. It will be the same with
Nigerian time.
but America, you still have 1 week before you now
Before
change.
yours change. Okay, yeah. So from next week Monday, will be exactly the same time as Nigerian time, because our time will move. Is that moving forward? Is it?
Yes.
The time will move forward. Okay. So let's take note of that. We'll be losing the 1 hour that we gained in October.
Spring forward.
Yes, we'll spring forward. All right. Thank you, guys. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Pastor Moses GCF, and the FMC TV YouTube channel. Do that now if you've not already done that. Go click on the subscribe button on the 2 YouTube channels, and God bless you. Remember also to click the notification bell, so whenever we're live, you're one of the first to know. And what is more, this broadcast, I'm sure it blessed you. Why don't you just give a thumbs up on YouTube to the broadcast so that YouTube can recommend it to others? It will just help somebody and make the world a better place.
Yeah, have
God
some
bless
good
you.
guys meeting good girls and having good lives
Exactly.
and having good families with good children. Let's
Yeah.
do that.
All right. Okay. God bless you. Love you guys. And special thanks to the missus,
Yeah.
for this evening. Thank God that we were able to overcome the technical issues. And God bless everyone who contributed. We love you guys. And
Thank
we'll see
you.
you again. This is where we say,
Bye.